Ah, yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? It's Friday, everybody. It's Friday. And if you live in the Virginia area, it is back to school weekend. Yeah, boy. Yeah, them kids go back to school on Monday. But right now, it is Friday, August 15th, 2000 to the 25. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing good, doing wonderful. It's your boy, Brandon Bravon Towns. What up, Lil Ma? What up, big boy? Gang sign. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just playing. But anyway, excuse me. I'm trying to get over this little bit of congested stuff that I'm going through. But it's your boy, Brandon Bravon Towns. This is Sports Plus Life Talking Ish. We got a show for you today as even though it's Friday and we're going to talk our ish, it is some real shit going on in the world of sports. What are we going to talk about today? Hey there, gorgeous. Gorgeous upon gorgeous upon gorgeous. How you doing? What are we going to talk about today? Of course, NFL preseason going on right now, full effect. But some things have happened in NFL. We are going to talk about Brian Flores, John Gruden, the United States government, which in twice this week has ruled against the National Football League. Also, we're going to talk about Lil Yachty and his ignorance. But my boy, what it do? Yo, hey, you got your shit all in the camera. You got your man region. You got your man region. You got all your business in the street.
To the audience. It was
boy, put a pillow right there or something, boy. You got all your business in the street, boy.
You got to pay for that. Apologies, audience.
I got to pay for that? You got all your business in the street, boy.
I'm too good to be out here for free.
Oh, excuse me. I tell you what, then. Next time I go live, I'm gonna have my nuts right in the camera.
Hey, it's your show. You do what you want to do.
And say, boy, you see this Cash App sign? Boy, you see that? Yeah, it'll be worth it. I'm gonna change my Cash App sign to Big Balls Are Us. Okay, no.
Yeah, I. What's been good with you, man? How's the week been?
Hey, man, look, week been good. Getting ready for all the school stuff. You know, doing this school bus thing. You know, got to be back on that bus Monday, 8:15. I mean 6:15. Excuse me. So just
you never got off, right? You was working.
Some of y'all did summer school. Mm-hmm. I had a couple weeks. I haven't transported kids in a month, bro.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I've just had over the last couple of weeks a bunch of meetings and things like that to go to.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, back to business as usual.
Back to business as usual. Yeah. No question. How you been, bro? How the family doing?
Everybody good, man. Just new dad, baby going to school, or she going to daycare. Not this week, but week after, and I ain't ready. I ain't gonna hold you. Not ready.
Daycare, man. What are you gonna do when it's time for her to go to big girl school?
Big girl school. I don't even want to think about it.
It's gonna happen, bro. How old is she now? 2?
Yeah. 2.
Yeah, it's gonna happen in the next 3 years. You do know that, right?
Yeah. I'm gearing myself. Listen.
2028, bro.
2 years flew by.
What year? Your daughter was born in 2023, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you gonna do? Because you know she the class. When's her birthday?
June 27th.
Oh yeah. What you gonna do? She the class of 2020. The class of 2041. What you gonna do then, bro? Come on now. I just had freshman orientation yesterday with Roman.
That's right.
Yeah. Class of 2029.
You're gonna have to write a book on
it's
how to
real
deal with it, my boy.
It's real. Shit's real. That TikTok don't stop.
It doesn't. That's what I love about it, though.
Yeah, man. Who you telling, bro? Yeah, I went to that Hermitage yesterday. Um, met Roman's chorus teacher, met his counselor. You
Okay.
know, so, yeah.
Not the chorus teacher.
You motherfucker, look, we singers in this bitch. The
This
fuck?
man said, I don't care about no math. I don't care
I
about
don't
no
give a fuck
science.
about none of that shit, bro. You take care of that. Yeah, yeah, son, I'm telling you, you take care of that.
I need
That's
you to
your
be the next
expertise.
Luther Trey Songs
You
type.
goddamn right. My expertise is making sure your voice is ready.
He definitely got the chops for it. Definitely got, he got the lineage.
You damn right he do. I told his teacher yesterday, I said, yeah, man. I said the boy that made all county chorus the last 2 years and made districts this year. What? What? She was like, oh, hold up, wait a minute. She started typing on her laptop. Hold up, you motherfucking right.
I
Yeah,
don't know what the choir equivalent of starting
advanced
varsity
member,
is.
huh?
There we go. That's what I was looking for. I was like, what's
Advanced member. You heard me? Yeah, I'm be like that at both my kids' school. Like, no, we singing this bitch. And then she said, well, what's your expertise in music? I looked at her like, what?
you ain't know, man.
What? You ain't what? You just asked. That is the right
Hit,
question.
hit her with what you did at the barbecue, my man. We pulled
Oh
out
hell no, I ain't gonna
see my
sing in
boy.
front of her now.
My
No,
boy
I
was
mean
not.
that's my son teacher. I ain't trying to, I ain't, I sing in front of her. That may lead to some things. But I guess it's a
Hey, listen,
guaranteed A for my son. I tell you
yeah,
that.
exactly. You want an A or you want an A?
Well, then I need to meet all his female teachers now. How bad do you want your son to get an A? Oh, real bad. What good with you?
Let me go
Let
ahead
me
and
stop.
open
Let
up
me
these
stop.
bus doors for you.
Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm just playing.
Anyways, man.
Kind of.
It's been-
Kind of. Kind of.
yeah, but yeah, man, we about to talk about
Oh, yeah.
some
So, absolutely. All right. Now, case number one. This was just dropped today, and this is some real shit. You guys may not have remembered that a couple years ago,
it's been a couple years.
Minnesota Vikes defensive coordinator, and he is the defensive coordinator of the Vikings, former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores, who was terminated after the 2021 season. Believe that he was terminated unjustly. Well, he was terminated. I'm sorry. I said the 2021 season. Was that it? Was that when y'all fired him?
As far as I remember, because it was to his second, coming up on his
So,
second
okay. So,
year.
y'all fired him in like early 2021 after the
hmm
2020 season.
Yeah.
Um, he was fired really with no just cause because the Dolphins were actually coming off of a 9-7 season.
It was one of our better seasons in the past couple of years, because it had been a lot of up and down between quarterbacks
And Brian Flores was fired and left a lot of speculation. Why? Why was he fired? Now, it was noted that he did want to draft quarterback Justin Herbert, but instead, the Dolphins drafted Tua Tagovailoa, which didn't surprise me because my favorite podcast is a Miami-based podcast, and all I heard the whole entire it was after the 2021 season. All I heard was tank for Tua, tank for Tua, tank for Tua. That's what I heard. Of course, Tua gets injured
hmm
his last year at Alabama, but still, Dolphins draft Tua, number 5 overall. This is drama laden, okay? Like I said, and I'm saying this to my audience who tune in on Friday specifically to hear that gossip. This is drama laden. This is news. Okay, this is
I
news.
hate to say it, but this is actually bigger than football.
We got, I mean, we got the ears to those NFL streets on this bitch. Okay, this is news because after being fired, Brian Flores put in interviews at a couple of different teams, and the Rooney Rule was adopted in, I want to say, 2002. The reason the Rooney Rule was adopted was because noise had been, the chatter had begun that minority coaches were not getting a fair shake to get head coaching positions in the NFL. This was 23 years ago now. So they put this rule in place, the Rooney Rule, basically saying that every team, when you go through a new coach process, new coach hiring process, has to interview at least one minority candidate. And that could be black, it could be Hispanic, Lebanese, just one minority. It says you have to
Hawaiian
interview somebody outside the white race. Let's just call it what it is. It has to be somebody outside of the white race. Am I correct, Aaron?
Yeah, essentially affirmative action for the NFL.
Affirmative action in the NFL. So during this process, Brian Flores went on a couple of interviews, but it came to his attention that a couple of teams, and I'll name them in a minute, never intended on hiring him as their head coach. There were receipts to prove this. Phone calls and text messages that involve one, Bill Belichick, informing another coach, Brian Daboll, who is now the coach of the New York Giants. But at the time, the Giants head coaching vacancy was open. Brian Flores was supposed to interview. There's a phone call or text message from Bill Belichick to Brian Daboll, who was one of Belichick's former assistants, saying, if you want the New York Giants coaching job, it's yours. The only problem is they hadn't gone through the interview with Brian Flores yet. So that, with a couple other teams, Brian Flores decides to file a lawsuit for discrimination. Let me read it here. A civil lawsuit accusing the NFL of discriminating against Brian Flores and other black coaches will stay in court rather than go to arbitration, the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Manhattan ruled Thursday. I read that because, like I said, he filed a lawsuit. Other minority candidates piled on to this lawsuit. They said, hey, basically saying, to dumb it down, the NFL does not favor black coaches. Now, Aaron, what did you call it earlier? Buddy system?
Buddy system. And let me add just a little bit of flavor to that.
Go ahead.
What has been happening in the past is if you file a complaint against the NFL, guess who reviews and essentially is judge, jury, and executioner for your complaint? The NFL. So it makes no sense for people to essentially do this. So that's why this court has said, hey, the NFL cannot rule over this. This is outside of their purview. So that's a huge win in this case because it sets a big precedent for a lot of other things going forward where it's like, hey, not just discrimination, but maybe other elements that are outside of the NFL's purview now can be reviewed by actual courts and they'll probably actually get changes made. That's big. In terms of this going to, I'll be honest with you, when he filed this, bro, I did not think he was going to get anywhere because it is so incredibly difficult to prove discrimination, even in corporate settings. It's hard. But now that, because I wouldn't up on all the evidence, but now that we're talking about, hey, there's text messages, there's paper trails. Here's what I think will happen. I think the NFL will work really, really hard to settle this as quietly as possible because there's too much working against them right now. And it's going to be a lot more people. I think it's changed to a class action lawsuit now. So yeah, they're going to work to settle this quickly, but I'm hella glad for him to be wrapping this up. Hopefully.
So, the Federal Appeals Court upheld a ruling initially made by Judge Valerie Caproni in March of 2023, which said two teams Flores accused of sham Rooney Rule interviews: the New York Giants and the Denver Broncos, my beloved Broncos. Ugh. And one he accused of retaliating against him for filing the lawsuit, the Houston Texans. Those lawsuits will stay in court. NFL teams must abide by the Rooney Rule. the league's policy that requires organizations to interview candidates from minority groups for head coaching, general manager, and executive positions. So, which I just explained earlier. Now, Thursday's decision, which was late Thursday, concluded that the NFL's arbitration process in the claims against the league, Giants, Broncos, and Texans, is not protected under the Federal Arbitration Act. The NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell would have been the arbitrator, which Judge Cabranes determined unenforceable because the agreement fails to guarantee that Flores can vindicate his statutory cause of action in arbitral form. Basically, what that means is, like Aaron said, the NFL was trying to play as judge, jury, and executor, and the government is saying you can't do that. Even though the NFL is a private organization, that still violates civil rights laws. Now, Aaron, watch this with me as we'll get it explained to us a little bit more. And shout out to the Nightcap Podcast, Unc and Ocho.
The Second U.S. Court of Appeals in Manhattan ruled that the NFL can be put on trial over civil claims that Brian Flores and other black coaches face discrimination. In February of 2022, Flores sued the NFL and several teams saying the league was rife with racism, particularly in its hiring and promotion of black coaches. Other coaches later joined the lawsuit as plaintiffs. Ocho, I don't know how close you follow this, but I've always felt the way the NFL did business with this discipline was unfair. And God, if you've heard me from CBS, I was on there a decade. I was with Fox for 7 years, and I like to use this analogy. Ocho, if I got a speeding ticket, I shouldn't have to go appeal it to the chief of police because it was his department that gave me the ticket. I've always thought it was unfair. The NFL hands down this punishment, and if I go appeal it, guess who I'll appeal it to? The commissioner, or someone he appointed. How is that fair? It should be an independent body. That's why they have a court system. That's why they have the they're two separate but equal entities. So I've always felt this was a very, very unfair practice. They've always been able to hide behind Article 46. But you gave commission, and he's everything. He's everything. He's the jury. He's the judge. He's everything. That is so unfair. Even if you have these broad latitudes of power, I've always felt the commissioner should get out of the punishment business. Let someone else handle that. Let it be an independent body. The NFL and the NFLPA should have an independent body. Because you're never. Everybody feels they're gonna get an unfair hearing. If I'm appealing to the head of the entity that handed down the punishment.
But this is the thing, Unc. Let's understand the ecosystem and the powers that be when it comes to the NFL. Let's say if it does go to an independent body, do you understand? Even with it being an independent body, a separate entity away from the NFL, do you know who still controls the power? Do you know how they're going to be swayed still, where justice is still not going to be due? Even though it's a different entity, do you understand that? Understanding the power structure that you're going up against, the chances of winning are slim to none, whether it comes from the commissioner himself or whether it's a different governing body.
I do believe I have a better. Let me ask you a question. If I get a speeding ticket, do you think I got a better chance of going to the court or going to the chief of police and having him hear it? Because think about what happens when police officers do something wrong. It's few and far between that their own department, i.e. Internal Affairs, or the governing body that represents the police, the union, discipline them.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
There's a greater chance that the court, and now look, the court system has said, hey.
So, Shannon Sharp is spilling out what we were talking about, Aaron. Ocho is pretty much saying, bruh,
it don't matter.
It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? That's what Ocho is pretty much saying. Ocho is saying, I agree. Ocho is like, I agree with what you're saying, but what is really going to happen from it? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I get where he's coming from with that, especially as a black man in America. It's kind of like, all right, cool. Who's really going to have our back? when things go sideways. Because let's be honest, when we're talking about the NFL, when we're talking about players being punished or any kind of like legislation, we're talking about black men on trial. Not as a blanket statement, but as a fairly generic statement. I get where he's coming from, but if it's done correctly, more often than not, we can see real change done. We can't just look at it like, oh, okay, cool. The NFL is still gonna have their hand in it, so you're going up against a superpower. That's like saying, if I go get an attorney or a lawyer, I'm still finna go to jail. That's not always the case, right? You got a better chance of not going to jail with an attorney than not having an attorney. You see what I'm saying? So I get where he's coming from because we're dealing with some trauma there. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with some
No
real trauma.
question.
But I think it's better to have something. There should be a separate entity that governs the NFL when it comes to things like this. And I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna come across real crazy, and chat probably gonna eat me up. I have never been a fan of rules like the Rooney Rule or affirmative action because what it plays into is essentially what we're dealing with right now, which is we're gonna go through the motions, we're gonna put you in the spotlight like, hey, we got a black person coming out, but really and truly, we already know what's up and we already know who we want to choose. There has to be a deeper change rather than, hey, make sure y'all include some black people. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be deeper than that. And I think starting with outside governing bodies is the way we're going to fix it because we're not talking about the physical game of football. That ain't going to change with this. People still going to be hitting, people still going to be throwing the ball. That's not going to change. What we're talking about is the actual ethics behind the sport itself. When we were talking earlier, I know we made a joke about it, but it's literally still in the owner's minds that they own the people who are on the field, that they
Yeah,
can do whatever they, and not just the people on the field, the people in the front office too. Because
yeah,
this is my company, I can walk through, I can fire who I want, I can say what I want, I can do what I want, and it doesn't work like that no more. If the CEO of a major 500 company can come out and say some racist stuff and get fired, then it's the same thing for the NFL owners and anybody who's following in a trail like that. Like the involved parties in this case, they need to be held accountable. I'm not going to say they need to be punished, but they need to be held accountable. And I'm, again, just glad my man is keeping up this fight. I'm not sure what it's going to do to the rest of his career. I'm going to keep it a buck with you.
who
That's the only
Flores?
downside. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is
Well,
going to do to the
again,
rest of his career.
he is the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. So it's not like he doesn't have he's a step below a head coach.
Yeah,
So I mean,
but if I
if the
ask you, do you want to be head coach of the Broncos or do you want to be, well, guys like us will probably want to be defensive coordinators. But if you ask anybody else, do you want to be the head coach of the Broncos or do you want to be the defensive coordinator? You're gonna say what?
well, we'll get into that in a minute. We'll get into that in a minute. And then, of course, I'm gonna say the head coach. Now, not every coordinator is built to be a head coach. aka, look at Josh McDaniels. Brian Flores was proven to be a good coach. He was not the best person as a coach, and he actually admitted that last season in his treatment of Tua, and
Hmm.
which is honestly, I was shocked that he admitted that because he knowing that he has this case going. But I mean, you might as well have everything up front just in case you do get another head coaching job. It was work reports that he could come across as a bit of a control freak dickhead. But when it comes to wins and losses, he had them goddamn Dolphins playing some football.
He had the
You know
boys
what I'm
actually
saying?
playing.
Like, let me put it this way: a Brian Flores coach Dolphin team does not have a problem playing in cold weather. Let me put it that way.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Okay. Now let
I'll
me
take that.
now as far as let me get back to this video for a second to see and see where they're going.
Hmm.
Whew, that imminent.
Hey,
Any threat, be it real or perceived. Let that sink in, Ocho.
Yeah.
Real or perceived.
Yes.
Woo,
Hey,
woo.
you have to understand, and you know well. For those that don't understand, maybe on the outside looking in, even with this ruling, now being able to be or go to court.
Oh, they're gonna appeal it now.
Even if they appeal it, you understand the animal and the power structure
Of course.
that you're going up against. The machine. I have a question, huh?
Yes.
In the history of law in general, how many times have the people, even those that have been discriminated against, even those who serve right and deserve justice, how many times has the machine lost, huh?
It doesn't happen often, but you can't get deterred.
Right.
Just imagine if Dr. King would have gotten deterred, or all those people that marched in the 50s and the 60s had gotten deterred. Rosa Parks, if she had said, you know what, ain't nothing gonna change, so let me just go ahead and give my seat up.
You know what? I'm glad you just said that, right? I'm glad you just said that. So everything we've been through in the 50s, right? The 60s, all those that sacrificed.
Yes.
We had one that sacrificed even recently. Brother Kaepernick.
Yes.
Take the knee.
Yes.
Standing for something.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Has anything changed since then?
In the NFL?
No, not the NFL in general. Just with everyone you just named with 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yes.
Happening. Has anything changed yet?
It doesn't seem like it, Ocho. It seems like if we take a step forward, we take a couple of steps back.
Okay.
But if you
talk to me.
Think about your grandparents.
Yes, sir.
Then your parents was in that same situation, and you said ain't nothing changed. So I might as well just stay in the same Liberty City, do what they did, and not try my damnedest to improve the situation. Right. Now, where would we be?
We try our damnedest to improve the situations, right?
That's what you can do.
Talk to me. Let me stay with me real quick. Now, there was a time in the 50s, in the 60s, where they were able to wear their hoods, huh?
Yes.
Daylight, in broad daylight.
Yes.
Because it was accepted. So now they've gone away from that part. So the hoods are gone.
Yes.
Now they wear robes. Now they hold gavels. Right. Now they have suits and ties on. Now they're in positions of power to where, okay, it seems like things have changed or things may be different, but it really hasn't, because now they're just in positions of power and controlling everything.
And that's what they do.
And that's the way the system is. To me, it's all about understanding the system and being able to fight it, and understanding that I'm going to do all I can to try and improve the situations around me. It makes some type of impact. But the way the ecosystem is built in general, the way it's structured, is built for you never to win.
But you have to.
They would never allow us to ever get in position to be able to make that change. And the ones who do that look like us, that happen to get them and wear the suit and ties too, you got to play by their rules.
But see what you did? You see what you said? But when we get a chance to get in that position, do we lift someone up? Or do we kick the ladder and say, I'm up on the top of the roof now, so I'm good. I'm up here. I don't want nobody to look like you join me up here.
Stay with me one more time.
All right. I want your comments off of that situation, off of that scenario.
That is a Martin Luther King, Malcolm X conversation, right? If I've ever heard one. And it's tough because they're both right. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be like, oh, one person wrong, one person right. They both right, right? Ocho is right. He's not. I know for a lot of us who are fans, it's difficult to look at the NFL. Like the NFL is a machine it's too big now. It's almost like Ford Motors. You know what I'm saying? Like how they bailed out the car companies and stuff. The NFL cannot go down. It is an entertainment. It is a part of the economy of the United States. That's just the way it is. It is built, like it has lawyers, it has physical, they will go as far as they need to go to make sure that structure stays intact. Ain't no way around it. So I get where he's coming from with it. But to Unk's point, 1% better is still better. And we can't look at it as, all right, cool, ain't nothing changed, or nothing has changed at the level we wanted to change, so we're just not gonna keep doing nothing. It's a tough conversation, but if I had to pick a side, I'm gonna always pick the side of progress, even if it's a little bit. If I could do just enough to make sure the world is a better place for my baby girl, even just 5%, then yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Boy, you preaching tonight, boy. And you gotta love Ocho with them 1990 Master P glasses on. boy, that inspired me. I'm about to. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right. Got me putting my shit on.
It's tough, man, because we talking about something bigger than football tonight, baby. Like it's a tough combo to have, but it's the truth. And I would tell anybody.
It gets better. This is gonna be a deep ass episode. It gets better, baby. It gets better. Let's finish off with this discussion.
No, listen to what I said.
Yeah.
When they do allow you and put you in positions of power, you have to play their game by their rules. That's why they even let you get in that position to begin with.
sometimes that's correct, but you have to look at it, Ocho. Think about a system that's been in place for as long as it has.
Right.
You think you're going to dismantle a system that's been in place for 400 years in 30 years?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You're
But
not.
I know one thing. That system that's been in place for however long it's been in, if they allow you to be in that position of power, you better play by their rules. And there's an understanding that you have to do that in order to be there. But I mean, dude, this is a great topic. You know, I'm not one to really talk about politics and stuff like that, but I can go. I can go now.
But I love the fact this is because they said, because if you go back and look at the ruling, he said the judge like ain't no chance that this is fair under no circumstance
at all.
Even if he were to appoint someone, it's still him. So you, like an arbitrator that he appointed, is going to rule against the man that appointed him.
Right. You're right.
Make it make sense now.
Yeah, you're right.
Again, we go back. I got the speeding ticket, and I'm going to the chief of police.
Right.
Okay, well, guess what? The chief's not going to hear it. We're going to give it to the corporal. He'll hear it. He still no. It needs to be a separate body. That's why the police, they do what they do, and then guess what? Your job is done. We go into court.
Yeah.
And now we have a whole different body with 12 men and women that's going to determine it.
Right. Yeah.
Because if it was left up to the police, they would have 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But just I'm in this case, what happened with Brother Flores and other coaches that look like us, minorities for that matter. I love that they stand on business in general and they're going to get in court. But I also do understand the other dynamic of it and understanding who you're fighting against.
Yeah. Oh, they got a lot of money. They can throw a lot of look.
The funny thing about it, the thing about it is not even about the money. It's the power in which they can sway any ruling to make sure they're not at fault. Because that fight that they're fighting about, it's still going on today with opportunities not being given to certain individuals that look a certain way. Nothing has changed. Also, when it comes to the quarterback position, that's still prevalent in today's game as well.
Yeah. But the thing is,
I don't want to dive deep and go into it and go in depth, but there's so many different layers I can peel back right now that I choose not to do. But listen, only a blind man would not understand what I'm talking about.
No, only a man that choose not to understand what you're talking about.
And for those that can see and don't know and are gonna play maybe naive,
devil's advocate.
Yeah, and dumb to the situation when the facts are clear as day that you can see. Come on, now, let's not do that.
But hey, the man gets to have his day in court, and we'll see what happens, and then you go from there. But I can assure you, they're going to appeal this. The Nevada Supreme Court has ruled in favor of former Raiders head coach John Gruden in his appeal against the NFL. Gruden will get discovery and a day in court alleging that Commissioner Roger Goodell and the NFL improperly leaked his email leading to his firing.
Yeah, and hey, that's another one that's going to be interesting. That's another one that's going to be interesting.
Well, you can't appeal, and now they might appeal this to the Supreme Court.
Right.
They might because the Nevada Supreme Court say, no. We get the score. He gets the score. Because Ocho, you got to realize there's $70 million at stake. He had a 10-year, $100 million deal. They fired him.
Oh yeah. Well, that's guaranteed though. You know, when coaches
they didn't pay him because they cause he got fired for cause.
Right.
So they're probable cause and getting fired.
He's absolutely right. I totally forgot about that. Remember we were talking about earlier, Aaron.
Yep.
I said, the best thing is to be a fired coach. But when you lose your job because of conduct detrimental to the team, somewhat, something like that,
they will
then they can take their money back.
Yeah, that conduct clause is a big thing for a lot of corporations now. They throw that into everything, boy.
So hell yeah, John Gruden gonna fight. $70 million?
Bro, why you got them damn shades on?
Oh, I told you. I told you, man, it was Ocho in the 1990 Master P glasses he had on.
Like, nigga, you in the house.
It don't matter though, bro. It don't matter then, baby. Ocho in the house too.
Yeah. I also think he always high, but that's just my personal opinion.
You said what?
I also think he always high. Because some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth. Yeah, ain't no way you could just be.
No. Okay, so next topic of discussion. In their 5-2 ruling, justices did not determine whether or not the league had leaked Gruden's emails, but they found that the league's decision to force his complaint into arbitration proceedings overseen by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, the target of Gruden's civil lawsuit, was unconscionable. I think I said that right.
You did.
As a former employee, Gruden should not have been bound by a provision in the NFL Constitution mandating arbitration for such complaints, the court ruled. By its own ambiguous language, the NFL Constitution no longer applies to Gruden. That's all you need to know. Now, John Gruden and Brian Flores' cases are totally different. Totally different. Because Gruden was emailing then general manager of the then Washington Redskins. He was calling people niggas and faggots. Let's keep it a spade a spade. He was saying that he was calling people niggas and faggots and saying that women ain't got no place in the NFL. How you handle that one? I mean, he could win his case. Now, for $70 million, yeah, I'm going to fight too. Yeah, I call them niggas and faggots and said bitches don't belong in NFL, but nobody should have found out.
That only, that's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one. Now,
that's more or less, can you forgive?
No. The activity like that needs to be punished. Like crap like that. We can't accept that anymore.
Well, one Stephen A. Smith said today on First Take that his surprise prediction is that by next season, Brian Flores and John Gruden will be back as head coaches.
I don't see that unless a team gets bullied into having them as head coaches.
Oh, well, then he should coach Dallas then.
Would I want to see Brian back as a head coach? Absolutely. I think he's a great head coach. I think he deserves another shot with a decent team. Honestly, he probably dodged a bullet not coaching the Giants, so he'll be all right. But the tough part here is, our owners gonna see, because here's the thing, and here's why I parallel the Gruden situation. The emails are indicative of a type of culture that's within the space. So if that culture still, the culture didn't just go away because folks getting sued, right? So if that is the culture of the upper level of my organization, and my natural tendency is to hire the homies, why would I hire somebody who is against the homies? Essentially, you hiring an op, or I'm hiring you just to make it look good, and then 2 seasons of losing, I'm gonna fire you, and I have an excuse for it.
Well, see, that's what the Houston Texans were doing. But the Houston Texans, if anybody, when this lawsuit comes to the Houston Texans door, they can say, no, we ain't got nothing against hiring black people. Our last 3 coaches been black. Mm-hmm. Our current coach is black.
Which is, again, why the discrimination thing is so difficult to really nail down. They're going to have something. They're going to have to pull something else out for that situation. And I hope they do. Bro, I hope they do. But it's tough.
Let's get back to Flores, because I had a story, and this is true. This is true. It's true talk that even Aaron himself, the Dolphin fan, was not aware of. How? I don't know. But the reason why Brian Flores was fired from the Miami Dolphins, after having a winning record as a coach, mind you, was because there was a backdoor deal in place. See, race had nothing to do with why Brian Flores was fired from the Dolphins. May have had something to do with why he wasn't hired by the Giants, Texans, or Broncos. But again, the Houston Texans done shut everybody the fuck up. Houston is like, you can't say that about us. We have a paper trail that shows the exact opposite.
We love the Negroes.
Yeah, we love the niggers. we H-Town, bitch. We get nigga coach, nigga quarterback. Come on now, what else you want? What else do you want?
I don't know why that shit's so funny, because I can literally see that being an interview. Come on, guys. Negro coach, Negro quarterback.
What else do you want? The face of our franchise are Negroes. and when you look at if you look at it, you're like, yeah, they kind of got a point. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. Flourishing coaching quarterback at that. They're not bad. They're actually pretty damn good. Damn. All right.
We'll see what
Let's
happens.
leave them alone. But Brian Flores was let go from the Dolphins because there was a backdoor deal in place between owner of the Dolphins, Stephen Ross, then unemployed Fox analyst, former head coach at the time, Sean Payton, who is now the coach of my Denver Broncos, and then Tampa Bay Bucks quarterback Thomas Edward Patrick Brady III. Oh, wow.
That nigga
somehow, this is a story that made news, somehow got swept under the rug. Now, what were the details of this backdoor deal, Brandon? I'll tell you, chat. It's simple. They were chilling on Stephen Ross's yacht, probably had a couple of bitches and hoes and some drinks and stuff like that. And Stephen Ross said, you know what? We're doing kind of good with this Flores guy, but hey, GOAT, or everybody's GOAT, he ain't my GOAT. Hey, Mr. Brady, hey, no, you don't like, you're not playing for Belichick anymore. Hey, I got a deal for your ass. Why don't you retire from Tampa Bay? Come on down a little more south. No homo, pause. Come be the quarterback of the Dolphins. And since you're all under low-key, tight, willy-nilly with Sean Payton, why don't he be the head coach once I get rid of Flores? Oh, that sounded great. So what does Tom Brady proceed to do after the 2021 Tampa Bay Bucs season? Oh, he retires. Oh, Brady's done with football, yada, 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 bullshit. What they weren't counting on was Brian Flores making a fuss and making a stink about him being fired. When everybody's thinking, wow, who's going to replace Brian Flores? His replacement was already on deck. One, Sean Payton. Hey, it's Tom Brady. You retire. You come out of retirement just before training camp. You play here for about 2 seasons. When you retire, I'll give you part ownership of the Miami Dolphins. Ain't that a bitch? But when Brian Flores made a fuss about it, plans blow up. 40 days after Brady's retirement, all of a sudden, we got unfinished business. Y'all better be glad y'all ain't get Brady. You said y'all would at least made it. Brady was shot. I don't know if you remember his last season in Tampa. He was not good. They were 8-9, bro.
Oh, okay. I think what was our record?
It doesn't matter, bro.
And hear me.
By that time, Buffalo, but what I'm saying is by that time, Buffalo had ascended. You understand what I'm saying? Buffalo had now run that division. I get what you're saying as far as y'all being able to make it, at least win in the AFC East. Buffalo had ascended by that point. But if y'all niggas out there in chat land don't believe me, Aaron was like, wait a minute. Aaron had to see for himself.
I had to go research it.
I don't know if this man is taking a victory lap today for being the second to this story, because he re-reported this story after Florio reported this story, and Ben Volen is vindicated today. A lot of people came after him. This is a nonsense story. It's not true that Tom Brady was
sorry about that.
Almost a Miami Dolphin. So Ben, now that you have weathered this turbulence, and thank you for joining us. How bad was it, people attacking your reporting when you were saying, hey, this thing was set up, it should be getting more attention, Tom Brady was going to be a Miami Dolphin?
Not any worse than it has been in the past when reporting on Deflategate and Robert Kraft and Aaron Hernandez and just the whole Patriots. I mean, everyone in the NFL hates the Patriots. So social media is nasty. You're well aware of that, Dan. And there's always a lot of negative criticism and a lot of negativity thrown your way. So, yeah, a lot of people in Dolphin land chose not to believe this. But thank you for the NFL for coming out with everything yesterday and vindicating it, I guess. And it's a crazy story. It's one of those cases, Dan, I think, where truth is stranger than fiction. And it's wild. And people, people choose to believe what they want to believe in this kind of post-truth society now. And people didn't want to believe that Brady was doing this, and the Dolphins were all in. They want to believe the myth of Tua. But it's all very true, and but what's interesting to me is it's being couched as the Dolphins tampered with Brady, and the Dolphins are the ones that get punished here. But this is, it takes two to tango on this one, and Brady was flirting with the Dolphins all season in 2019, starting in training camp. It's not like it happened at the end of the season. He was talking to Bruce Beal all throughout the season, and then Beal would relay the conversations back to Ross. So Brady was just as culpable in this as well. And up here in Boston, I don't think it's making him look very good for him to be so distracted and have his mind elsewhere during that final season in Foxborough.
Would you say this is a bannable affair? Should the NFL ban Tom Brady for life, Ben? In your journalistic opinion, of course.
No, I'm sure I don't know if Dolphins fans should root for that because Brady still might come there next year, but no, I mean, I do think it's almost worse than Deflategate in a sense. I mean, the football air pressure thing, I think is pretty clear, didn't affect the competition. And who knows how much this affected Brady during that 2019 season. It was not a good year for him or the Patriots. He talked all year about how miserable he was. He was the most miserable 8-0 quarterback. They fell apart in the second half. The offense wasn't good.
So, according to this report, which came out, I want to say 3 years ago, this shit goes way deeper than Brian Flores' last season. This shit goes back to Brady's last season in New England, which means that Tampa Bay was not his first choice. Now, when Brady got released from the Patriots, when his contract was up, I always thought he was going to go to Tampa Bay because I was looking at it from a football acumen. You got Evans, you got Godwin, you got, good defense. You're one less Jameis Winston of a quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl, and that ended up being the case. But there was another story that also came out that he was looking to join the Raiders for the same kind of deal with Miami, that it was going to get him and Gronk, and Dana White comes out public and takes credit for fucking that deal up. But Tom Brady was dabbling the tip of his shit with the Miami Dolphins the whole 2019 season. If the Dolphins were a chick, Tom Brady was like, all right, let me put the tip in, and I'm gonna just go ahead and take it out. But you never got the full. Yeah, you get it. So let's listen to this some more.
Who knows? Was Bruce Beal planting some negative thoughts in Brady's head? How distracted was he? So I don't know if it's certainly not a bannable offense, and the NFL, they can't do anything because tampering is only a team punishment. But it doesn't make Brady look very good, and he certainly was distracted that final year, I think. And if he's flirting with the Dolphins, who knows how many other teams he's talking to as well. I think that's something that I've considered a lot too in the last day or two.
What do you regard as the most interesting parts of yesterday, the news that broke yesterday?
First, this revelation that, we all kind of knew. We first knew that Brady and the Dolphins were talking this past offseason when technically he was under contract with the Bucs, and we knew through the Brian Flores lawsuit that the Dolphins tried to set up these chance meetings at the yacht club after the 2019 season, in like February, a month before free agency began. To me, not a big deal on that stuff. But the fact that it started in training camp, August of 2019, literally the same time that Brady is signing a new 1-year deal with the Patriots, and his first media availability, he's talked about how focused he is and locked in, and that's what the team requires of me, and I'm going to give them nothing less than my full attention. And he's flirting with the Dolphins at the same time. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. And To me, the fact that they cleared Stephen Ross on the tanking allegations was a little curious at best. I mean, they're like, well, he may have offered Brian Flores $100,000 per loss, but he was only joking and he shouldn't have been taken seriously. It's like, I guess, okay. I mean, he's the boss and he's saying this stuff. I think if the NFL had come down on Ross for the tanking, it seems like it would have potentially exposed them to some all kinds of legal liability. The competition of the game, was it pure and antitrust and things of that nature. So I think the NFL wanted to clear Ross of the tanking allegations and then maybe come down a little bit harder on the tampering. So that to me was an interesting outcome yesterday.
So you're saying they were incentivized to not do an impartial investigation, that they're incentivized to arrive at the conclusion before they've investigated it?
Certainly that is an incentive for them. The tanking thing is bad for the NFL. They don't want to open that can of worms. So there's definitely a lot of thought that they cleared the Dolphins on the tanking for their own liability and for legal reasons, and then maybe came down a little bit harder on the tampering with a first-round pick, a third-round pick. Stephen Ross was removed from all his committees, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but he was on some of the most important ones in the NFL, the finance committee, NFL media, international, gambling. So they stripped him of all that stuff. They really punished him and I think have publicly shamed him with this episode, but they really protected him, and it could have been a lot worse because they frankly admit that there was some talk of tanking, but that Stephen Ross, he shouldn't be taken seriously. And I've been around Stephen Ross. He does.
What did I say when we first started this whole discussion about Brian Flores? What was the whole theme? Well, at least at the beginning, from August to October, the theme was tank for Tua. That was a thing. The person who killed the tanking wasn't Stephen Ross. It was Brian Flores. Because he had his team prepared. They played. They ended up with a winning, in 2019, they ended up being like 6-10, 7-9. And then the next following season, they were a win away from the playoffs. And that word got out. I'll give you $100,000 to lose. $100,000. First of all, if I'm the coach, you're gonna offer me $100,000 to lose. How dare you, you son of a bitch?
At least $250.
Compromise my integrity. You're a fucking billionaire. You could give me $1 million per loss.
You know what I'm saying? You got the bread. Stop being stingy.
You got the bread. No, what you do is you give me $1 million per loss, and you give all of my players $100,000. Because think about it. If you agree to tanking, first of all, that compromises your integrity as a coach. Who the fuck else is going to want to hire you? As well as the players who are on that roster. So, boy, the NFL was a soap opera off the field this week. And I ain't talking about no punk-ass Jerry Jones and the punk-ass Cowboys and that punk-ass Micah Parsons deal. Fuck them niggas. They all part of the show. I want to get traded. Y'all shut me, lying bitch.
It's whatever it takes to get the attention.
Well, Jerry Jones came out and said that this week. I like stirring the pot because it keeps my team relevant. It keeps the team relevant, and it keeps me able to have any hooker I want at any time to come in here and do something strange for a little piece of change.
Like, why you got that nigga sound like Forrest Gump?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Jerry sounds like, you know. Even though if you look at the fucker's birth certificate, it clearly says California, but he was raised as a Southern good old boy. Now, I ruffled some feathers just a day ago. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I ruffled some feathers. There's a movie that just came out. How familiar are you with Michael Jai White?
Very. I was a big fan of him for a very long time.
Okay.
One of
Good
the
shit.
few. To me, he could have been Wesley Snipes if he had better movies.
If he had what?
Better movies. Most of his movies are terrible. Like straight to
Well,
DVD type terrible.
there's a reason why. Um, there's a reason why he was not the next Wesley Snipes. I mean, one thing we've learned from this Diddy case is how Hollywood gets down and what you have to do to get the type of fame and attention that you may be looking for. And not everybody is down, if you follow me.
My booty is mine. It belongs to me.
You follow me?
I'm tracking you.
Say what?
No, I'm tracking you. I don't know if you remember that Boondocks episode of when Tom was the scared straight episode.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, look, that's what it. Hey, look, that's what it is. You know, one because he used to go on Vlad a lot. Maybe he still does. And he said that he would not. They asked him wear a dress. He wouldn't wear a dress. Yada yada yada. So you catch him drift. But he just released a movie. Went to theaters for a hot minute called Trouble Man. Movie that he was executive producer of. So, I'm a Michael Jai White fan too, and I know how his movies generally look. So I temper my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, it was a movie produced by him and Keith Sweat. So
Interesting.
Good cast though. I'm not gonna lie. And Mike Epps in it. Orlando Jones, Method Man, Lala Anthony. But during one of the karate scenes, Michael Jai White dropped a bit of knowledge that I found so informative that I turned it into a short. So I'm gonna let you see the short first, Aaron. This is a brand new movie.
Earlier you said the martial art was wasted on my kind. Little history lesson for you fellas. The first complete martial arts was discovered in Africa, 2500 BC.
How about that?
In 527 AD, Bodhidharma, aka Damo, aka the Black Monk, introduced the 18 hands of the Loha to the Shaolin Temple, thus introducing martial arts to China. Now, I know you've seen the depictions of Damo all over China. Let me ask you something. Does he look like you? Or does he look like me?
Hey now. Boy, tell you, boy, when he said that part, nigga, I was hype as a bitch. I was like, get him, Michael. Y'all like, get him. So, of course, I'm looking this shit up for like before I turn this bitch into a short. I'm up looking at information. I'm like, okay, the Black Monk, Damo. Where was the first martial arts? Where was that first original? Where the first form of martial arts? Where did that originate from? And goddamn, sure enough, multiple articles said Africa. Any pictures of the Black Monk depicted him as our complexion. Now, if you can look at the number of likes and comments, if you can see that, you can see that this short has gone, I'm not going to say it's gone viral, but it's hit. And the reason why it's hit is because there is that debate now of people wanting to say that's not true, fake, yada, 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 yada. And then you have people who are like, no, it is true. So, of course, I'm going to stir the pot in that regard. And I'm going to say, boy, y'all don't like to give black people credit for nothing.
Not Nathan.
Were you aware of the original martial arts being from Africa?
This is my first time hearing about it. I am not familiar with Don Mo as a martial art. Um, so definitely want to check it out.
And the movie itself was actually pretty entertaining. I will say that. It was entertaining. It had its scenes where it looked a little low budget, like that particular scene as it was getting ready to unfold.
Motherfuckers out there shooting on an iPhone.
But it was a rather entertaining movie. I would I will always support Michael Jai White. So I will encourage people to watch the movie. But yes. Aaron, I'm gonna pull this back up. Go ahead and look at some of these comments. Read some of these comments. Hold up. Facts, big facts. And then you had your some who why is his head so big? That's hilarious. But you had people saying you can't believe everything movie said. This is not factual. It was in Asia. Yeah, so that's why I made that comment. Black people can't get credit for nothing because you got some people saying bullshit. So we are believing everything that's in movies, not documentaries. People saying more reaching. So yeah, I push the envelope on that one. Absolutely. Because if that is historical knowledge, why wouldn't people want to know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, bro, I'm gonna say it like it is. We as a culture, we as a species, it's fucking amazing, bro. We are. We're amazing. We're amazing.
Some cool stuff.
You said what?
I said we do some cool stuff as human beings. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We do. Now, have you heard about Lil Yachty?
No. You know me. The only news I know about is financial news. That's it.
Oh, yes. Big businessman himself.
I mean, if it ain't about the money.
Said if it ain't about dollars, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Oh, bitch ass nigga.
Unless Lil Yachty finna cut this tax bill, I don't know nothing about what's going on with him.
Okay, well, rapper Lil Yachty, and I'm going to sound like a reporter on this. Rapper Lil Yachty has come under scrutiny because he puts out a bar in his new song talking about a woman saying, I'm going to put a knee on your neck. I'm about to go George Floyd. How you think that went over?
Maybe I need the context of the bar, right? Maybe there's some additional.
Let me see if this is played. Let me see if this is played. See if this is played.
Steven Jackson from the All the Smoke podcast is heated with Lil Yachty. Let's find out why. Here's the video. What you talking about, Steven?
Doing the right thing. I'm winning. I'm just trying not to pay attention to you idiots, man. But like, it's just hard, bro. Like, Lil Yachty, bro. You been whacked, my nigga. But you think you saying George Floyd name and trying to use his name in the bar that's gonna make people like your whack ass music, my nigga? That shit weak. Y'all the only era that feel like demeaning the dead and saying that shit is cool, my nigga. It ain't. And it's me and the whole Third Ward and the whole Houston, Texas riding behind G, man. Don't ever say his name, bro. None of y'all knew G. Nothing about him. But y'all want to say his name for clout. Put a knee up on his neck. That's some weak ass shit, Yachty. Let somebody die in your family. We gonna do a whole skit about it and see how funny it is, bro. Cut that shit out, man. It's only you whack Sambo ass niggas that do shit like that. Stop doing the right.
Whoa. Let's go check out the bar.
Check it out, Eric.
That he's talking about. Now, Stephen Jackson's been very vocal about anything George Floyd because that was his homie. Let's see what did Yachty say that was that crazy. Let's see. Found it. Boom, boom, boom. Let's check it out.
Got up on my neck, it's a sunshine. Her my name said on the app, wait for it. Wait for it. ITSUS, I'm finna go break the bank for it. Put my knee up on her neck, I went George Floyd. I be tweaking, she get wet, she gon' wait.
What?
I went George Floyd. I be ITSUS, I'm finna go break the bank for it. Put my knee up on her neck, I went George Floyd. I be tweaking, she get wet, she gon'
Now, it's one thing to diss the dead, right? Or use them in a bar. Battle rappers, we do this shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, say a lot of foul shit. I've said a lot of foul shit. I've been in the studio and came up with bars that I felt like was crazy, but out of the respect for the family members and the people who love that person, I've taken those bars out because it's like, it's unnecessary. I could think of something else. You know what I mean? This is just lazy writing. Lazy fucking writing.
The bar was weak as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really expecting a whole lot in terms of bars from Lil Yachty, but that was pretty insensitive.
I mean, George Floyd's brother has since come out and commented and saying that he would like Lil Yachty to change that lyric. Is disrespectful and his family's had to suffer enough. First of all, let me preface my comments because
I'm about to say some wild shit too.
I don't have nothing against Lil Yachty outside of him being a lifeless, boring fucking rapper. He was on a couple of movies that I found entertaining. How High 2 was entertaining. You won't know How High 1, but it was entertaining. There was a point in time where Lil Yachty was like voted the wackest rapper or whatever.
Yeah, I can see that.
You can see that, right?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think I've really ever purposely listened to any of that young man's music. So,
Lil Yachty, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
yeah.
If you putting that bar in there, we wanted to get you attention, nigga, it got you all the wrong attention. You shut your. That's the most exciting thing you've done in all of your boring bars of rap because you are a boring, lifeless motherfucker. And I'm not saying that about you as a person because I don't know you, but as an artist from the music that you've made, there's been some catchy songs that you happen to be a part of. But I find nothing about your rap exciting. And Stephen Jackson had every right to say what he said. Nigga, you been whacked. Shut the fuck up.
It is not wrong.
I mean, the beat was all right. The problem on the beat was you.
It's kind of been the issue with music over the last couple of years, isn't it?
He ain't lying.
I be ITSUS, I'm finna go break the bank for it. Put my knee up on her neck, I went George Floyd. I be tweaking, she get wet, she gon'
Bro, for starters, that beat kind of went. That beat was all right. That beat was all right. But I can't. Shut your ass up. Put me on that beat. I'd have killed that motherfucker. And all the dick riders sitting beside him bopping to that shit like, yeah, he said, Lord have mercy. Yeah, Lil Yachty, congratulations. You're a fucking idiot. Because a lot of people some people may have forgotten that it was about 2012. Lil Wayne lost sponsorship over a lyric he said in a song he did with Future. I don't know if you remember the song, Aaron. It's called Karate.
Karate? I probably remember it if I hear the beat, but no, it's not coming to mind immediately.
Well, Lil Wayne said on that song was beat that pussy up like Emmett Till.
Mm. Yeah, I can see people having concern with that. I mean, Ross had something similar with the you don't even know joint. So I honestly think these guys really just need to chill out with trying to be super creative because it's not working and it's
That song Karate. I just remember the chorus at the end of it was Michael Jackson, Billie Jean.
Oh, okay. I'm tracking you. Yeah, now that I think about it out loud, I probably should have had more frustration about how the verse went out. 'Cause I remember really liking that song. It's probably a problem.
Yeah, I fucked with the song too. Yeah, but Emmett Till's family didn't, and Wayne lost his Mountain Dew sponsorship. He lost a couple other sponsorships. He did apologize. I don't know if Lil Yachty's going to do the same. He was definitely out of pocket.
I don't think this
He was definitely out of pocket. Are you aware that the BET Hip Hop and Soul Train Music Awards have been suspended?
Really?
Really? That's right. You're strictly in finances, my boy.
Yeah, I knew niggas who was still out here doing that.
Still out here doing what?
The BET Awards.
I'm fucking weak. Oh, Lord.
I'm sorry. Niggas still watching. Is BET still a channel? It was like, folks not even watching TV no more, man. Like,
well, you know what? That's funny you said that. It's funny you said that. Let's take a listen.
Like, one of the first people I met in LA when I moved out.
Fawcett.
Yeah.
There's magic in our melody. They took our melody away. Company. And
hold up.
Come do something to you. And I was like, I pray to God.
That nigga a weirdo.
If you're gonna go that route.
What'd you say?
I said we should all stop listening to Corey because that nigga's a weirdo.
No, not on this. Not on this. And I love the 5150. Not on this. Oh, you heard about that, Lomar? Yeah. Not on this. Let's just take a listen and just tell me if you agree.
And what you guys are saying, truth telling, now is the time because with
Kenyatta, Quentin,
with
I love
social
you.
media and with YouTube, it's all over the place. TikTok too. Oh my gosh, there's some things where I'm like, oh, why is that person saying that? Oh my gosh, they're gonna come. And I thought, no, everybody's talking about
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
now,
can't
right now
even
is the
keep up.
safest time. Right.
Somebody say Corey making history. Speaking of history, I have to bring this up. I'm gonna go and do it while you on the line because I think you'd be great to talk to about this. How embarrassing is it that a black award show was snatched by the Caucasians that bought BET?
I was gonna say that.
How embarrassing is it to see that the Caucasian people can take away your stuff way deeper than people can imagine? Because I'm going to talk about how BET used to be one of those little local channels.
Right. In DC.
Yeah.
Where I'm from.
And
I'm from the
it
DMV.
was BET began popularity by playing black music. That's what made people start watching it. And long story short, Mr. Johnson sold BET because they were going to kill him if he didn't. Sergeant Phil Cantone comes there. He's like, I heard you got a candy store. Well, me and Bugsy, we want your candy store. And we'll give you enough money to function. So he sold it because you're going to sell it if you know what's up. When you have an invention that they want, Flavor of Love was just a show. Then all of a sudden it became everybody's version of a show. You name it. If you invent Wildin' Out, they stole it from my brother. They took his show.
They roughed it.
So we're on the BET now. BET was bought by a Caucasian company, and they allowed the talent that wasn't upper echelon talent. Whenever you're ready, bro, you sit down. Whenever upper echelon talent, they used the people that were not the real deal. And long story short, they ran BET to the ground. No people who are productive really watch BET because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So we allowed the enemy to come take our product, and later in life, they told us we're not gonna play it anymore because they're in charge of it. They're in charge of our music, a la streaming and everything. They will take your music, put it on one of these streaming platforms. You don't get your money for your music
at all.
And now they said, you know what? We're done with your award show.
Even though those were very popular on that network still,
This is
of them are gone.
This is the most embarrassing thing in the world, but it's a good thing because there's no way we should be dependent on them to pick our talent. But they are the ones who pick our comedians. They are the ones who pick our rappers. They're the ones who pick our actresses, actors. So yes, we're getting a watered down product. And it's embarrassing that they call themselves taking it, but it's a blessing that they took it. Now it's time for us to grassroot it back up to the top where it belongs. And when they try to gangster it this time, we might find a way. Craig has joined the show. Craig.
Now, what untruth do you? What's your opinion on what he just said?
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna take my black ass to bed. It is so incredibly important. Good night, baby. It is so incredibly important for us to understand how certain things actually work versus listening to people spout complete nonsense. If you have never started a company or solicited money for a company, you don't know that when you borrow money from people, you have to pay it back. So if I borrow money from someone to create a network, I need to pay it back. And typically, this is done by selling the company. And I've studied this BET situation a couple times because that was my original thought. I'm like, why would we sell something to a company that is predominantly white owned when this is supposed to be a black owned situation? It's because we need to pay back the investors. And two, it's because they offered a lot of money. I don't know what he's talking about in terms of someone's life being threatened. I don't got no background in that, so I can't call it. But that sounds stupid because there are plenty of black-owned elements that are like nationwide. Like that's not. It's not rare for black people to own multi-million or even billion-dollar organizations. Otherwise, Robert Smith, one of the richest black men and one of the largest owners of black equity in the United States, they would have killed him already.
He was trying to buy the Broncos.
Yeah, and then first off, he's a phenomenal person. I think he's from Colorado. No, he's not from Colorado. He's from Oklahoma. Excuse me. Yeah, no, that's complete nonsense. Which is again one of the reasons I encourage people. Please don't listen to Corey. Please don't listen to that. Yeah,
I disagree. I love 5150. I'll respond when you finish though.
My man just be yapping. I'm gonna also say this: who are these better artists that we're choosing that are not being represented? Because and you were probably watching we probably grew up watching BT around the same time because it came out.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always been a sports head, so BT, MTV, VH1. I mean, I've watched it every now and then, but it was never my favorite. You know, I've been ESPN my whole life, bro.
I think we could even without that being the case, I think we can both.
I will say this though: BT don't show music videos no more.
Well, nobody really do music videos anymore like that for real. But I think we can also conclude that the quality of music has decreased incredibly. right? Like we have people like Sexy Red that are mainstream. So not having a BET Awards, and it's not like BET Awards didn't come around last year or the year before. The quality has decreased, viewership has decreased significantly. So why would I continue to spend millions of dollars for nobody to watch a show?
I get I get that. I do understand that because I always watch the BET Awards the day after, and really, I don't even watch it. I'll go to YouTube and look at the clips. But while I disagree with what you're saying as far as stop watching Corey, because the things that he's talking about things from the industry that he works in, that he has up close, that he's had up close access to. So I can't not listen, and I can't discard what one person is saying, particularly when a lot of the things that are being said that he has said over the last 2 years has come to light, in particular with this, with all the things that this Diddy case has exposed. So I can't disregard what he's saying because he lives in LA. Well, he lives on the outskirts of LA. He's been in the entertainment industry for 30 years. His story does not contrast with a lot of stories from other various famous people who we thought should have been at a different, like Michael J. White. You said he could have been. You said he could have been the next Wesley Snipes if his movie. There's a reason why he didn't choose to do said type of movies for said type of corporation.
Wesley wasn't addressed. That is true.
Well, yes, he was. To Wong Fu. And that certainly applies true for Corey Holcomb. I mean, like I said, their stories don't contrast. Eddie Griffin, his stories don't contrast. Eddie Griffin is more famous than both of them, but yet he has the same exact stories. Everybody ain't lying. So, as far as the BET business thing, I get it. I understand. You have a product that's not making money, you're gonna shut it down until interest regrows. I get all of that. But it's when it comes to him selling it back to repay the investment, BET been around for a minute. You think and in the 30 years that my man owned it, he ain't made enough money to pay back the investors by that time?
I work for a corporation right now that is constantly borrowing money from the federal government. You don't stop borrowing. It's not like you get enough money and then you got enough to run the company. You are constantly borrowing money to continue to keep operations going. It never stops. So at some point, it's like, yeah, you make it profitable, but then it's like you got to keep up that work. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you put on a whole bunch of muscle, you got to keep eating the same type of food to keep the muscle on. So,
well, what Corey is talking about when he says, you're gonna, we'll buy it from you, you'll get a lot of money, or else, there's a world that exists in the world of business and entertainment that does operate like that, particularly when it comes to us. We've made a lot. I'll say this again, no culture is more copied off of than our culture. I think you know that.
Facts. Without question.
There is a world that operates in that manner. This is it's like when I say that I don't care if I ever make any money off of this podcast. Now I know the Cash App sign may throw people off, but I say this again, and I say this and I honestly say this with a bit of pride that, I've been doing the show 7 years on Thanksgiving, never made $1. And the reason why I don't put any onus on making money off of this show is because once money gets involved, the purity is over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I started making money, I could get you niggas to come on more often if I'm paying y'all. I promise you, I guarantee you that.
I wouldn't take a dime from you, bro.
I will, but I'm being honest with you. If let's just say Sports Plus Life was generating a good amount of money, you think I wouldn't pay y'all? Of course I would.
No, Sports Plus Life can replace what I do 9 to 5, bro, easily. I'm here 7 days a week.
If Sports Plus Life can give you a good second income, aka a part-time job, you'd be here too. If I said, hey Aaron, on the post-game show and on the Tuesday episode, all I need you for is 30 minutes, and I give you X amount of dollars, you gonna say no?
I say, hold the money. I'm gonna show up for you.
And now that sounds good on face value. He lying his ass off. That's why you see them pearly whites right there, because he know he lying his ass off. He that's why he laughing. He can't even hold it in. He lying his motherfucking ass off.
I'll send you.
He ain't gonna say no. He either say no or yes. But under no circumstances is he gonna say keep the money, particularly if I come with a dollar amount that'll raise one eyebrow. Even if it is just a side hustle. Now you help put this together. You're the one who introduced me to the live stream. You help put this together. You think that I would not? You think that I wouldn't do that? Please. If I said Sports Plus Life is making some money, I'm gonna pay you, Sean, Keith, Calvin, all to be here at least for 30 minutes on the post-game show and the Tuesday show. It'll be 5 screens on this motherfucking thing right now.
And see, as your friend, the first thing I tell you is don't do that shit.
What, offer money?
No, hell no. First thing you want to do is make sure the business is self-sustainable. That's the number one thing.
Absolutely.
Just listen, another Boondocks reference. Don't do nothing for the homies. Not the compadres, not the friends, not the fellows, none of that. Make sure the bread is straight for you first. Because no matter what, even if I help put this together, and I'm gonna say this, and I gotta go to bed because my wife already told me it's time to go to bed. More than enough love for you. I got nothing but love for you and your family. Y'all are my family. You are my brother.
No question.
But number one thing you got to do is make sure that your house is taken care of, and I don't think that's foreign to you. And so I tell you first before it's like, hey, everybody start getting bread and everybody start making money. This is something as Black people that we tend to do too often. We kind of scale up faster than we need to. Just make sure stuff is working out. Because you talking about putting people on payroll. If that money run dry, folks start acting funny. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if the money run dry, that just means I'll be able to get y'all when I can, like I do now.
Always the positive thinker, man. I love it.
Well, I mean, because and the reason why I brought that up as an example, not to say if I had money, of course, because we had this discussion a couple years ago when we first started going live. But the point I'm saying is, let's say this podcast was making a lot of money. There'll be somebody, let's say it's making a lot of money. There will be somebody who wants to knock on the door, send a phone call, email, text message, whatever, who's going to want a piece of it. There may be somebody who may want to buy it or sponsor, who may want to sponsor it or try to move it to a major network like with the Pat McAfee show. And that's why I said, once money becomes involved, it becomes a diluted product, not on purpose, but just because once money becomes involved, everybody looks at things differently. And see, this is why I don't have a problem with me never having a sponsor, because you motherfuckers ain't gonna tell me how to walk, how to talk, how to do X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna talk the way I talk. I'm gonna view things the way I view them. If you want to pay me a bunch of money to say, yeah, buy pizza at such and such place and da 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 da, but da 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 da, fine. But if you're gonna say, hey, along with saying that, we want you to tone down your cussing a little bit. Fuck you.
Yeah, they probably will ask for that.
Fuck you. Because my question is that, okay, I've been cussing like this the whole time, and it brought your bitch asses to me. Why do you want to change up what I do now that you want to invest some money in it? Take some money, take your money, eat a dick. Because if I'm getting money without you, that's what brought you to me. So what do I need to change for what?
Until they start putting 6 zeros behind them numbers.
Yeah, they're putting 6 zeros behind McAfee, and McAfee cuss all he want to at ESPN. You know why? Because he's in an advantageous position where his numbers were great. He'll be his fan base is fine with or without ESPN. That's why Shannon Sharp is good right now. He developed a fan base where he doesn't need ESPN.
Yeah, like you always want to control your own
Of
vote in that
course.
sense.
Of course. But what I'm saying is, me, particularly, I'm just talking about as far as money goes, when we invent, there's so many times Black people have created something magical from nothing. And once it reaches a fan base, and once it reaches an influential base, then somebody wants to step in and say, hey there, Brandon. Hey, we noticed Sports Plus Life is quite a humdinger. Well, we want to invest X amount of dollars in it. How does 6-0 sound? Will I suck a dick? Will I take it in the butt? Will I sell my soul? These are all things that matter. I know. Baby, the wifey calling me, mate. I know.
Yeah, you know how that go.
Yeah, you've given me a great amount of time. Don't worry. Post-game show is coming soon, so you guys will see Aaron more. We're just a couple of weeks away from the Prediction League 2025. And yeah, my boy. And the Miami Dolphins got bitched this week by the Detroit Lions in practice. Oh, that was ugly.
Anyway, it's a rebuilding season. That's what I'm calling. It's
remember 2 weeks ago when he said they was going 12-5. Y'all remember that, right?
You know, we some things have changed.
No, don't act like you sleepy now, nigga. All right, homie.
All right, bro.
Take your time, bro.
Love you, man.
Love you too, bro. Hey, man. Look, it's another thing that Corey Holcomb said that is very, very accurate. In this country, fuck that, in this world, when you in the truth-telling business, you become a target. You know, Malcolm and Martin were in the truth-telling business. And when people start to agree with that truth, let's just say you become a person of interest to the Bureau of Investigation. You know, not everybody who's on this show has been a truth teller, an opinion giver. Love it. But their truth, which it can include mine, is not always the truth when it comes to actual factual. Do with that comment whatever you want, as I will go back to Senor Holcomb.
Craig has joined the show.
What up, Craig?
What up? But hey, Falset Media, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, you know, I mean, BT has changed hands a couple times in the past few years. Like this is one of my other areas that I'm really passionate about is media. You know, Falset Media. But BET was owned by Viacom for a long time. When you talked about the Nick Cannon era, like that was Viacom that was making a lot of the moves in the network where they chose to stop playing music videos. When's the last time you saw a music video on BET? Unless it was like one of their specialty channels off to the side that nobody gets to see, right? That was part of the fabric of it, you know, these shows. When's the last time you saw a teen summit on there? Or, you know, shoot, even like even hits from the streets. Like one of the first people I met in LA when I moved out.
Falset.
Yeah.
You know there's magic in our melody. They took our melody away. They took it away on purpose. There's magic when we hum and do things like that. They took it away and brought in the
Indians and gays.
Yeah. And Craig said the Indians and
well, the Indian is a new black. Every time you see a movie now, it's a white dude with a Indian cat or some type of homosexual person, and that's the new black to mainstream society, right?
Bro, yeah, you ain't lying. Look at the auditions.
Yeah.
The auditions they give you.
Man,
I just think it's really embarrassing that who we are has been taken from us and told it's shut down because of whatever the reason may be. But trust me, the reason it is is because you made it that way. And I'm talking about the powers that be. I'm not blind to you. I know who you are. I know what you want to do to everything beautiful we create. You want to own it and destroy it because you're jealous that you could never do it. And that is the truth. You're jealous that you could never do it. Now, am I saying white guys can't bring melody? Hell no. I know some white guys who can sing. Y'all won't be there. Hey, that's a bad boy.
Yeah.
That's a bad boy.
Seal's a cold white boy too.
Seal. Boy, you crazy.
Oh my God.
But Phil Collins.
Now, it's funny because talking about white boys who can sing, I was on the phone with Zach asked me about that a couple hours ago. But I totally understand what Corey is talking about when you're talking about the destruction of BET. BET is just a movie channel now. You'll throw a bunch of Tyler Perry movies on, or some bullshit. But it's not. This is what I don't think a lot of people may not have taken into account, including A Boogie. When you buy a product, you can buy a product and slowly dilute the product to where its original fan base is no longer attracted to it. And thus you're starting to lose fans little by little to the point where eventually you can do away with it. That's possible. That's possible. It's probably done. And BET ain't been the BET I grew up on in a minute. I mean, fuck, Vivo and YouTube took over music videos. Like I said, BET is just a movie channel. They'll show, you'll have Tyler Perry miniseries that's on. You'll see something. You'll see Belly. You'll see Belly. You'll see Medea's big fat penis. Or no, I mean, just being silly. I love the Medea movies, but you'll see them on BET. BET is not what it was not even 20 years ago. BET, MTV, and VH1. They're all movie/reality show channels. That's it. So, again, I don't see him as being wrong in that context, because that shit happens all the time. Anybody can buy a product, dilute it, and eventually destroy it. Now, am I going to say, are you jealous because you can't do it the same? I mean, once again, that goes back to what I said earlier. There's no culture more copied in society, in the world, than that of the African-American culture. It just is what the fuck it is. It is what it is. No matter how much you paint us in a negative light in the media, baby, motherfuckers still want to be like us. You dig?
Collins.
Phil Collins is cold. The
Phil
Fiji,
Collins.
nigga.
I'm not saying Caucasian people can't sing, but what I'm saying is, what we do is magical to the soul. It's like when you see the Cobra and the man playing the thing. The Cobra isn't even human, but he understands the rhythm of the world. They want to take away our rhythm in the world, man.
They want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues.
Oh, that's a bar.
And they must
right.
have
How about that?
They must have felt the sweat or some pressure, because
there.
Now they've switched it to, they're not. At first they were saying indefinitely, right? And now they're saying that we're just figuring out where best to move them.
Yeah, you go away and let us grow into what we really are.
BET Awards gonna be on Nickelodeon.
You know what?
I promise you that.
You joking, but they do that. They do that.
Big Bird gonna host.
Big Bird.
Gonna host
It'll be on
BET
Disney Plus or
Awards,
something. Disney Plus.
His co-host gonna be Oscar. Oh, Bird, I remember that song. Man, I used to
Buckle up with this
Yeah,
Fat Joe.
That's what we.
Joe.
That's what we get.
Yeah. See, so
That's what we get for giving our shit away and not fighting for it. Fuck it, nigga. I'ma say it. Niggas ain't why we give it away?
Well, they gave it away
gave
for
him a
money.
lot of
Like
money.
I
There
talked
was a lot
about,
of
Rob
money that he got,
Johnson
yeah.
owned it, but they came to him and was like, you can have some money or you could be killed. That's how they come at you.
Hey, the valuation of the company, he didn't even get what it was worth in a couple years after that. You know, I think he got maybe 1 or 2 billion. Like the acquisition price was low.
Somebody said Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton was cool.
Michael Bolton can sing now. Michael Bolton can sing now.
Hey, somebody give me some toilet paper.
Michael Bolton was like a white Ray Charles now.
Everybody thought was black that sang that song.
Michael McDonald.
Nah. I guess you wonder where I've been.
Yeah, that was damn. That nigga looked like just like the granny from Beverly Hills.
What you mean? What you won't do?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Bobby
Caldwell.
Bobby Caldwell. Yeah.
Bobby Caldwell.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
He was cold.
He had me fooled for my whole life. Like I was a kid listening to that song. I was like, oh yeah.
And they keep doing it, man. Y'all remember when Pink was black?
Pink was black as hell.
Pink was black when she dropped. Nigga, 25 years ago.
That first album. That's because
Christina Aguilera used to be black. Remember when she was black, nigga?
Hey, everybody, that's the history of the music industry. Is like when they're rolling things out, they like to roll them through the black community to get some type of approval. I mean, you think about the UPN and the WB back in the day.
Why do you think that is, my boy? Because when it's cool with blacks, it's all right. When it's cool with blacks, we're going to take it to the bank. Come on now. Again. We are the most copied society in the world. When music meets the approval, when genres outside of country western to a certain point and hard rock, other than that, when it meets the approval of the melanin people, oh boy, cut it out. You in business. That just is what it is.
Bills. I hope that's what happens, and I believe it's what's going to happen because I may have some sponsorship, and I'm so glad that we getting some sponsorship because I could be like, use that to pay the crew. I swear to God, I'm saying like, I'm gonna take me a little piece out of it, but I'm just saying, I want to make sure the guys on this Tuesday night for a few hours make some good money. I want to do that because I know some of these podcasts they get deals from people for millions of dollars. I don't have nothing like that coming, but I got some where you can take a bitch get something to eat and all that shit. Or Darlene, you can go get one of the homeless guys a turkey during Thanksgiving and fall back asleep in the box.
All right.
But
shit, we should, man. Hey, DraftKings, man. Come on, DraftKings. They are the biggest contributor to male podcasts in the world. Their demographic is men 21 and over in states where gambling is legal. So all these niggas that got podcasts, they harboring the plug. They could give up the plug.
No, why would they give us the plugs? Then they can't act like they bigger than us.
We can go to them directly. Fuck them niggas.
And I got somebody who's shopping it now.
All right, let's do it. Because if I got a deal on my little show one time, we can get a deal.
Yeah,
you know
we got the numbers.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, fuck that. DraftKings. I know y'all got somebody watching.
Well, actually, by them playing them commercials, made some people be like, I want to be part of this and made offers. Yeah. So the mistake turned out to be something good. Yeah. But I don't want people interrupting me while I'm talking. This is the live. Yeah. If you want to play the show back and have
I feel that. No, I don't want that. That's how I feel. But again, I will say that. My bad. I want to say this. If there's somebody who would want to sponsor, who want to give a check for me to say, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. As long as it ain't nothing immoral, okay, but it ain't gonna fuck up the fabric of the show. That just is what it is. But now I got to have my female talk.
Older women acting like they have bargaining chips toward men. Older meaning over 50, and they act like, well, if you want me, that's the first mistake when you're over 50. If you say if somebody wants you, because here's the truth. When you are over 50 years old and single, the only hope you have at finding a partner in life for real is proximity. You have to pray. Proximity brings you a partnership that's worth having, because the guys that meet you out in the street, they're going to say whatever to smash. And after they smash, you're not this amazing woman anymore, because you're not this amazing woman. Let me say that again. After they smash, you're not an amazing woman anymore, because you're not an amazing woman. The reality is proximity, somebody that you're around all the time and they get to know you, might be able to tolerate you better because they see the ins and out to you and you see the ins and out to them, which is why a lot of women are fucking the people at work.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
It's your hope for happiness will come from proximity, especially when you're older as a woman. If you work with an old woman who's clean at work, even though she's old, you give her credit for being clean.
So all old people can't take care of themselves?
Older women don't take care of themselves. You have to fight them to take a bath before they get into bed.
Oh, Lord.
Is it just me?
Mm-hmm.
Yo. 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 Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. But what I've noticed is I've noticed a lot of older women, and I've talked about this before, coming out publicly bragging about smashing young dudes, and make no mistake about it, to 99% of them dudes, it's just pussy. It's a trophy, bro. Like, people don't want to, like, people have a hard time accepting that. Like, how can I put this? People who, when you get in your 40s and 50s and even 60s, whatever, whether you're a man or a woman, if there's a person 20, 30 years, your youth, trying to spit some game, and a lot of times, if you're single, you're going to go for it. And people don't like, I've heard several people before in their 20s, in their 30s, who say, I'm not dating. I would never date somebody who's 20 or 30 years older than me. They're my parents' age, until they date somebody 20 or 30 years older than them. Until that old player come up and spit his game, flash some money, and say, you ain't got to worry about nothing, baby. I got you. Long as you keep my dick wet. And then next thing you know, well, he's different. No, he ain't. Or until you get that old cougar who, baby, I'm a grown woman. You ain't had me yet. And then, and that old piece of cutty may feel good until you realize the chick your age is more flexible and can go into more positions and is more willing to go multiple times in a night. It is what it is. Doesn't mean that you still won't, mess with said older woman or older man. It's a trophy piece. It's a braggadocious. It's a trophy piece, especially if you're older, especially if you're in your 50s or even 60s. Let's say you're in your 50s and you have, say, a chick that's in her 30s or in her 20s coming to fuck with you. That's fucking with you. Yeah. To her, you may just be a sugar daddy, but to said man, that's bragging material. That's an ego thing right there. Ha ha, yeah. I'm 55 years old, still got me a bitch 30 because that's the way I roll. I've seen it all too much. I've seen it all too much. Or you'd have that, like I said, women coming out on interviews, on social media, on podcasts, women in their 50s bragging about sleeping with men in their 20s or their 30s. It's an ego thing to let the ego know, hey, I can still hang with the youngsters. I can still, particularly a woman, I can still get a man any age. It don't matter. And a number you can. But again, let me put it this way. If I was in my 20s, and a woman 20 years older or 30 years older than me wanted some action, and I was single or whatever, and she was good looking for her age and she wanted some action, okay, it strokes her ego. It could stroke my pockets. It could stroke my ego. I mean, fuck. I mean, when I was 20, 21 years old, I was doing shit like that. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I was. When I was 20, shit. When I knocked a couple of jumps. Late 30s, early 40s down. Sure the fuck did. I ain't want no dough. I was just like, I look, I wasn't looking at it for no financial come up or nothing like that. I was just like, damn, she can still get at this age. Oh, she agreed. Oh, stroke her ego, stroke mine. Now, when he talking about women in their 50s acting like they got bargaining chips now, that's a whole nother story. Because once again, particularly when you're a woman, that gets a little dicey. I'll tell you why. I just said it. Because when you're a man 30 years, your youth, yeah, they may knock you down. They may actually enjoy knock you down. But then there'll be that little part where, well, damn, she can't go all night. She can't get in said position. She can't do all of the things somebody my age can do. So that's a friendly fuck. Yeah, I'll come back. Sure. But if you think that you my main shit, man, please. You could tell that to people, but man, please. Come on now. Come on now. And that's reality, bro. That's reality. People want to say, ew, that's gross. It's fucking reality. That's fucking reality. You could have a 47, 48-year-old man and a 25, 26-year-old chick come up to him and offer him some game. A chick that's damn near, that's close to your kid's age. You think a nigga gonna turn that down? Especially if he's single? You think a nigga gonna turn that down? Let's keep it 100. Do you think a nigga's gonna turn that down? Because if your answer is yes, you are not in touch with reality. If you're a 47, 48-year-old woman and a man 23, 24 is giving you play and you single, and one day you may have time that day, and you entertain the flirt, you entertain the attention. You entertain the attention. See, if you don't entertain the attention, I mean, most people are just going to go on about their way. But you entertain the attention. You laugh, giggle, hee, hee, hee. Oh, boy, stop. Ooh, well, you ain't ready for me. Up. You just open the door. Now you about to open your legs. You think that woman's not going to do it? Okay. The motherfucker could be her son's age, but it ain't her son. Come on now. Let's call a spade a spade. Am I saying it's right? I mean, if you're two consenting adults, who am I to say whatever? I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. But I digress.
Older women will tell you they took a bath earlier that day. This is my experience with women over 50. They will get in that bed.
Oh shit.
They will actually wipe off.
Oh shit.
With a towelette with Lysol on it. What does she call it?
Pearl calls it a bird bath.
A bird bath.
Bless her heart.
That bath is too much of a chore for them to do and make the man happy. Because you already, do you know if somebody tell you, would you take a bath? That means something wrong. If a man's or a woman say, listen, why don't you get in the tub before you get in bed? That means that is the nicest way they could say, get your funky ass in order before laying next to me.
Somebody just said that. Right as you said that, somebody said it.
What they say, whole bath?
Yes. No, funky yes.
Oh, shit.
Man, this is a funny ass topic.
Somebody say I mess with old dirty broads. So? You know I don't care.
I know, yeah, he doesn't.
I mess with old dirty broads, young dirty broads. Listen, I try to show you how to get in bed where in the morning you can get a hug.
Wow, they get to spend a night. That says a lot.
I got this girl. She always say, "Why do you have so many pillows in the bed?" I'm like, "Bitch, you be farting." This is a fort, bitch. Since you acting like I'm some retard who got 9 pillows in the bed, it's 9 pillows in the bed. I have to build a fort on this side of the wall.
Oh shit!
That's funny.
Oh
It's
shit!
got to be goose down too, because the old ass cheeks will destroy cotton. So it's got to be feathery, thick goose down pillow.
Oh shit!
No, but I just want to say, all you older women who are out acting as though you still have options, we get it. You're sad. You're sad. When you're over 50 acting like you have options, you are sad. This is how you let the sadness out, by acting like there's a prerequisite to smash your elderly womb that ain't bleeding no more. Your womb don't do nothing but get sweaty and piss once you're a certain age. And you need to make sure that you are generous with it to gentlemen. Make sure you're generous with it to gentlemen, because you don't want to be alone on those Easters, on those first Sunday roller skating parties that you go to, all the stuff women over 50 do. What do women over 50 do?
Women over 50.
It depends on what kind of woman.
The big hat dinner.
Cheerleading for TD Jakes.
That sounds
good. Did you say cheerleading for
TD Jakes? Every time they are get ready fiends. Every time that nigga say get ready, they lose their mind.
Oh, those wine tours and stuff. I can't stand wine.
You know, in
Nigga said
nature,
cheerleader.
over 50 is for
But he's different.
a dog over 50 is 6-7 years old.
Oh shit!
But no, in nature, older women participate in older females participate in what's called cooperative breeding.
What?
Cooperative breeding. When a woman's over 50, she's supposed to be a cooperative breeder. That's a woman that takes care of the offspring of a younger, more attractive female.
Wow.
That's what you do in nature when you've gone over the hill and you can't contribute in that way. You become a cooperative breeder. There's other things too, but and they used to do it in our societies. They used to be
You're
called
supposed to watch the young for the young that have young.
right. Real shit. That's real shit. You ain't supposed to be rolling.
You're
skates.
supposed to be looking at the kids as they look at you with your facial surgery. Hi, how are you today?
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
I'm so glad to see you.
They'd be like, Mom, you're scaring the kids.
You ain't supposed to.
Nowadays, exactly. They're scaring their
You ain't supposed to be at Rock the Bells, old bitches. That's over with. It's done.
What are you talking about? Rock the Bells.
Hip hop is in the.
Well, I will say this, Darlene OG Ortiz, you still a bad but okay. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because I still got some dad things that I'm gonna go ahead and be a part of. That I'm gonna go ahead and be a part of tomorrow, and of course Sunday is new school year's eve. So for all of you guys who all of you parents out there who have kids, they are getting their asses out the house and they are taking their asses back to school. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. But it's your boy, Brandon Bravon Towns. I'm out this bit. Peace. I will see you guys on Monday. Love you. Have a great weekend and be safe.